Sutta 4.2 The OCTAD on the Cave. Imprisoned in a cave, deeply buried, stands the man who is drowning in ignorance. Such a one is far indeed from renunciation, for sensual pleasures in the world are not easy to abandon. Tied down to wanting, bound to the pleasure of existing, he is hard to free. Others cannot free him. Now looking behind, now looking ahead, they long for future and former pleasures. Greedy, obsessed, in love with enjoyment. They are stubborn in their ways, walking on an uneven path. Brought into misery, they cry, "What shall we become when we fall away from this?" Therefore, a person should train himself in this way. Whatever he would come to know as unstable in the world, he should not act unevenly for the sake of that. For short indeed is this life, the wise say. I see in the world the trembling humankind, tied up with craving for repeated existences. Poor people who cry out in the face of death, not free of craving for all kinds of lives. See how they tremble in what they take as mine, like fish in a pool when the current is stopped. Seeing this, one should live without mind-making, not forming attachment for life or for things. Removing desire for all extremes, fully understanding contact, without becoming greedy, not doing anything for which he would blame himself, a wise man does not get stuck in what is seen and what is heard. Fully understanding what is seen and what is heard, he would cross the flood. The sage who is not stuck in possessions, with the arrow pulled out, practicing heedfully, he does not long for this world or another. End of this verse. Sutta 4.6 Old Age. Short indeed is this life. Within 100 years one dies. Even if anyone should live longer, then he is bound to die of decay. People grieve for the things they call mine, for no possessions are permanent. It always ends in separation. Seeing this, one should not live in a home. Whatever a man thinks of as mine, all of it gets abandoned at death. Having known this too, being wise, my follower would not tend to make things mine. Just as what has come together in a dream no longer is seen when a person wakes up. In the same way, when a loved one is dead and gone, one does not see him. Those people are now seen and heard who are called by this or that name, but only the name remains to be told of the person who is gone. Those who are greedy for things called mine do not give up sadness, crying, and selfishness. Therefore, the sages gave up attachments and lived carefully, seeing where true safety lies. Of the monk who lives in solitude and stays on a lonely seat, they say it agrees with his heart not to tie himself to a home. The sage is independent everywhere and does not see things as liked or disliked. On him, sadness and selfishness do not stick, as water does not on a lotus leaf. As a water drop slides on a lotus leaf, or as water does not stick on a lotus flower, so the sage does not get stuck in whatever is seen, heard, or thought. He does not think he is purified by that which is seen, heard, or thought. He does not wish to be purified by means of anything else. In regard to everything he can touch, he is neither attached nor disgusted. End of Sutta.